I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this
Right, so I get to say it. Right on.
Sickest night ever. Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host, and alongside me, as always, it's Juan Predator 43, and our special guest for the part 2 of the genre series. It's RobStarwind, aka Tony. Tony, welcome back.
Hello.
First non-Star Wars. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels weird.
Still got the Falcon up, and I watched him actually hang it back on the wall when he got on camera.
It's true. My wife has a new telehealth job, and so she uses my desk to meet with people, and I thought that'd be weird behind.
Hey, that's okay.
Sounds like a them problem, not a you problem.
Exactly. I guess that's true.
The Falcon should be on everybody's wall. I'm gonna go buy
do
the
love that
Lego one
picture.
just to put it right there.
Got more wall space there. You can fit more stuff in there.
Yeah, I think I should put it over the window.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hang it from the ceiling, like in an attack formation. Ooh.
Put some LEDs in the back so all lights
You're
up behind.
welcome.
Oh man, Tony, how's it going?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything crazy going on?
We're just playing the game of trying to avoid sicknesses these days. Seems like everyone in the family is somewhere is sick at one point or another. So just trying to weave through the holidays and not miss out on them because of sicknesses. But yeah, we got through okay. I had a bit of something Christmas Eve, but that luckily didn't stick around too long. But outside that, we've been okay.
That's good. Colton, what have you been up to?
Man, not much. It is actually today my son's birthday, so
Yeah.
got to celebrate that the other night at Burger King and the Play Place, so that was fun. So yeah, that was fun to celebrate that. It's just crazy, man. Tony, you can attest to it better than I can, and to tell Gunner, like, dude, man, it goes fast. Like, you don't realize how fast it goes until you're kind of just going through everything. And it's not a bad thing. And it might not necessarily be a good thing, but just don't stay mad at your kids for too long. It's not worth it.
No, it's crazy because there's just moments where you just catch yourself looking at one of your kids, and then you just have that moment of they were like here and then they're here. It's just weird. You just see them grown up a little bit more than they were before, because we see them every day. It feels that you don't really notice the changes, but there are those moments when you just catch them at the right light or the right angle, and you're like, good gosh, they've grown. Oh yeah, way too fast.
What did I keep hearing people say that after 18 you only live with your child for another year for the rest of your life. Some statistic like that. You only see them for another year or something like that. Yeah. So
Feels right.
So yes, spend that time with those kids. Spend that time. Yeah, we actually just had Sophia's 2-month checkup. She's actually 12 weeks or 11 weeks tomorrow. So I'm recording this on Thursday, but so yeah, we had her 2-month checkup, and that went well.
Nice.
She's growing, man. Next thing I know, she'll be turning 3.
Yeah, she will.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so just getting ready for William's birthday party for the weekend and trying to get used to the new normal. With the wife being a nurse, I gotta take care of 2 kids at once for 3 nights out of the week. So so far it hasn't gotten too overwhelming, but I know that time is coming somewhere.
Yeah, one of these days it'll be there.
Yeah, it will be. So
I'll have my first on Saturday. Actually, Saturday morning, Sarah's going to get her hair done, and it's her first time away, really, from Sophia. So it'll be just me and Sophia, and it's the first time it's just been me and Sophia. So I'll let you know how that goes when I see you on Saturday. If I have hair still, well, you'll know I'm good.
Oh man,
she'll
that's
sleep the whole
funny.
time. She'll sleep the whole time. We'll
What
be
about
good.
you, man? Gunner, what do you got going on? Anything new?
Not really. Not really. It was another full week of work and busy, and I'm one of those bittersweet things because I love my job, and I also, when you're off for a week and you go back, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. I want to be at home still. And then it'll go back to the normal and we'll be good. But yeah, other than that, it's been kind of laid back and good. Been playing a lot of Minecraft with my nephew because he got a Switch, and
I've noticed that.
yeah, yeah, Aspen got a Switch for Christmas, and he's got the same problem you do. His birthday falls within that like week of Christmas. So actually it's your birthday and Jess's birthday, and then Aspen's birthday, Skylar's birthday, and then William's birthday. All
Oh,
within a
dang.
week of each other.
Well,
So
speaking of birthdays, I have to give a shout out to my cousin Hannah and her husband Caleb. They had their child on the 31st. So
I saw that.
congrats, guys. Congrats on the baby girl. Glad she's a little early, but that's nothing wrong with that. She's doing well from what I understand. And so yeah, just super excited for them. I don't even know if they still listen, but I'm going to give them a shout out because they might be. Who knows?
Well,
We'll find
congratulations
out.
to them, but also well done on squeezing the full year of tax credits out at the last minute.
Oh, I know. I haven't told him that yet. Like I'm telling you that 5 days, William, I needed 5 days from that dude. But yeah, he gets the claimer. So yeah, yeah.
Push.
The funny thing
Yeah.
is that with my family, I've always, and mostly friends and family, I've always been able to say the Williams bookmark the birthdays, with me being at the very end and William being at the very beginning. And my cousin had to go ahead and ruin it all. Ruin it all. Because I don't know
Yep.
how, the only thing that it could be better, that could do that is if I have one that's later in the day
On
on
the
the
31st.
31st.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge
No.
accepted.
How about
One of us is gonna
no,
have to have a kid and name
Scotty?
him William.
I don't think Bree would go for that.
No, probably not. Probably not. Tony, what have you been watching?
I have been, as a native to the wonderful country of Britain, England, I have fallen into the trap this time of year of watching English panel shows, which America doesn't really have English
Oh, Lord.
America doesn't really have panel shows. I think it's weird, but Britain has a slew of them, and I've just been on a huge binge of watching them. And it's if you ever just want a good chuckle, just do a Google search for 8 out of 10 Cats, or Taskmaster isn't a panel show, but it's 5 comedians doing tasks, and it's just a ridiculously great time. Really
It's
good
like
chuckles.
Whose Line Is It Anyways, but only British.
I like it.
But Whose Line Is It Anyway is British. It started with Clive Anderson as the host in the UK with the original Colin Mockery and Ryan. You're welcome.
You've been learnt.
Nobody
You've been
cares,
weighed.
Tony. You've been found wanting. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I love Whose Line. I did not know that.
I was gonna say, do you know what
seen
you know what a
some of the
panel
originals.
show is, right,
Yeah.
Gunnar?
Yep.
Okay. Because you studied movies in college.
I studied film, but we never talked about panel shows.
Oh, okay.
You want to look up a definition on Dartmouth or Jake?
This is what this whole series is going to be about. Thanks, Dartmouth.
Thanks, Dartmouth.
Siri couldn't help either.
My dang watch all the time.
Oh my!
All the time.
Colton, what have you been watching?
I have not changed a dang thing.
No. Week by week, it stays the same.
Yeah, it really does. I'm just still watching Parks and Rec. Trying to finish Harry Potter. I'm actually on the part 2. So I'm almost there.
Oh, you're right on the edge.
I know.
Harry doesn't die. Sorry. No.
Spoiler.
Thanks. It's my first time.
Yeah. First round of hundreds.
No, I'm trying to get you to get freaking basketball and
I know.
They Live.
Was it basketball? Was that the one? Yeah, it was basketball.
Yeah, basketball and They Live. And I thought there might have been another one, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, I know. We need to get
I think
those
those are
up.
the two I've been really on you about.
You just need to text me every day and remind me. Hey, we need these movies. And I'll make sure they get on there. I'll
Oh
do that.
man. I introduced Josie to Real Big Fish, so I got that going for me.
Nice.
A ska band.
Yep.
For those who don't know who Real Big Fish are.
Does it make her move? I guess is the question with the baby.
She doesn't hate it.
Okay. Good
I
deal.
also just think she likes music.
Yeah. We got that darn freaking playmat that you guys have, the one with the piano on it.
Oh yeah, I
Those
know.
songs get stuck in your head and they don't leave.
They don't.
I wake up every morning and I swear I walk into the bathroom to brush my teeth and I'm singing those songs.
I turn that thing off as soon as I can.
I kind of enjoy the music. Not too bad.
My
Give
brother
it
and I,
time.
for a while, did a thing where we would try to outbuy the most annoying gift for each other for our kids' birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
So the loudest noisemakers, the most earwormy, psalm making toys. Yeah, we just try to out annoy each other. He won in the end because he's a better annoyer than I am.
Yeah, this one is annoying to the point where it's almost enjoyable. And I'll turn it on if it keeps her happy. That's all that matters. But
It's
yeah,
true.
I've been watching pretty much nothing. We did watch 3 of the Harry Potters last week.
Oh,
They were on TV, so we flipped them on and we watched them. Nice thing about them being on TV is there's commercials, so I'm not just sitting there the whole time. If a commercial comes on, I'm up and moving, doing something. And then if I'm up and doing something, it comes back on, I'm usually standing there with whatever I was doing in my hand watching the movie. But so yeah, I think we watched oh gosh, what do we watched Prisoner and Goblet and Half-Blood Prince. Not Half-Blood Prince, Order of the Phoenix. So found it in the middle, but it's okay. And then
see, man, I can't do that. I would have watched those movies that night or that day, and I would have went back and started at the beginning, did the first 2, and then jumped to Half Blood.
Yeah. Oh, you would have skipped the 3. I would have, if that was me, I probably would have ended up rewatching the 3 I already watched.
No, I'd have skipped those. I already watched.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, not a whole lot. We've kind of took a pause on TV and stuff because we've been working on the house. So maybe we'll get back into something. Maybe. Yeah. Question of the pod, Tony. I heard you brought one.
I did. Whoa. Now, with the disclaimer of, I don't know if you've heard this one before. So if you have, I have a backup one.
Okay.
If you could take any weapon from any form of movie and display it, use it, whatever, which one would it be?
Oh. Display it, use it, whatever. Okay, it has to be a movie.
I'm going to say movie.
Okay, because I was thinking energy sword from Halo. That was the first thing that came to mind. Oh, movie weapon.
Man, that's a good question. See, because I was going to say the assault rifle from Gears of War. That chainsaw assault rifle.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of that would look cool above my fireplace. Man.
Above your fireplace. Just a chainsaw machine gun. How about I'm gonna take one from the wall. I would take, and I guess it's kind of a weapon, but how about the jousting stick from A Knight's Tale? That'd be kind of cool.
I feel like that qualifies.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. And signed by Heath Ledger before he passed. That'd be even better.
I would go, well, if we're gonna go that way, the first thing that came to mind when you went with a movie pick, I would pick the cricket bat from Shaun of the Dead.
I love it.
If that could be signed by Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, that would be awesome.
Mhm.
I would proudly display that wherever my wife would allow me to.
Nice. What do you got, Tony?
I'm going to bend the rules for myself because
Of
I
course
came up
you
with the
are.
question. There was a TV show in the early 2000s that had a pretty big cult following called Farscape.
Mhm.
It was a lot of Jim Henson puppets running around on a spaceship. There was a gun that the main character, John Crichton, carried. He named it Winona, and it's a pulse blaster pistol. And they made a movie on the Sci-Fi channel for that show after it ended. So that's why I'm counting it as a movie, because it was a movie after the show ended. But I actually have started to, I've 3D printed one. I just have to paint it. It's right there. And I just need to finish it up.
Nice. So
For
he's already
those
got
who-
it.
On the audio, I'm pointing at something.
Yeah, thank you. That's great podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Great
So
podcast.
go check us out on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys Podcast and fast forward to whatever time this is.
Hey, let us know at thecallguyspodcast at gmail.com. What weapon of choice would you want to have from a movie? What would that be?
And
Let
I'm
us know.
honestly surprised that neither of you went Star Wars.
Oh,
I was staying away. Gunner does. Okay, Gunner, we all know you've got it. Do not turn it on because we will not be able to hear it.
sorry, what? You wanted this? Once again, if you're watching on YouTube,
Gunner's got
Already-
the biggest, cheesiest smile right now.
already got this one. Actually, the batteries are dead.
We couldn't hear it anyway.
But the battery, you'd see it light up. I was the only one that got a green crystal out of 30 people in that room. I don't know why nobody else chose green, but
I'd still do, like, I still would, if I was to do a Star Wars, I would want to do Darth Maul's sword or saber with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's saber. I would think that would be awesome. So
I don't know, man. You got Han's blaster. You've got Chewie's crossbow.
I'm not saying those aren't bad. I'm just saying that if I could make something on the wall for art, I think that those three sabers you could do something really, really cool.
Just a fat head of Qui-Gon with a big stab wound through him.
But
Don't
then
worry, I do die.
yeah, there you go.
Oh my.
You made that in Disney World, right?
Yeah.
At the Savvy's Workshop?
Yep.
I think the only colors are blue, green, purple, and red, if I'm looking at this right. I think I would do green also if I went, because blue's kind of traditional, purple's, special, and red's dark evil, and I would rather go more on the light side. So I could do green, I think, as well.
I was so surprised. I have video of it, and it's like, the guy actually walked up to me and said something about me being the only green one in the room, and I looked around, I was like, holy crap, I really am the only green one here. But like Lucas has all the colors, and you can get the special. There's only like, you can only get a black crystal through something, and and of course he has the black crystal. But yeah, good question. Good question of the pod. All right, now it's a pretty quick intro we had there.
That was really quick. Well, Tony's down to business. He's not
He
like
is,
our
and
last
this
guest who
is-
just has to clamor on and get just talk.
Yeah. Speaking of the last guest, I do want to mention Jake, and I want to thank him because starting this week, the Call Guys has a new affiliate, and that affiliate is Perfectly Pick Games. And Colt and I actually got to sit down with Jake, who you all heard last week and a few weeks ago, actually plugged Perfectly Pick Games. We sat down with him and did a little interview. So I'm gonna plug that in right here. Take a listen and make sure you go check out perfectlypickgames.com and use code Golden Mojo at checkout. All right, take a listen. Hey everybody, it's Gunner from the Call Guys podcast, and tonight alongside me, I've got Colton and also Jake from Perfectly Picked Games, and we just wanted to let everybody know that Jake is now become one of our first affiliates with his company, Perfectly Picked Games. And we just wanted to let everybody know kind of what Perfectly Picked Games is and pretty much anything about the company, so you guys can all check it out. And if you listen to the Call Guys from here on out, there will be a plug for Perfectly Picked Games, and probably alongside that in many of the other podcasts. So yeah, we just wanted to welcome Jake, who's been a longtime listener and multiple time guest on the Call Guys, and soon to now be a part of the Golden Mojo Entertainment empire. So Jake, the empire. So Jake, tell us a little about the company. Tell us a little about Perfectly Picked Games.
Sure. Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate that, Gunnar. Appreciate just being part of that partnership that we have right now going with the Golden Mojo Empire. And so Perfectly Picked Games is a company that my wife and I had recently started. It's a board game company, really. We're looking to distribute family board games, but also have like a subscription model as well, that individuals can purchase that and get games shipped directly to their home. We kind of specialize in that family atmosphere though a little bit. Both my wife and I grew up, we played board games with friends and with family. Even with Colton, with the co-host here on the Call Guys, we would play some games together into high school kind of a deal. And there's just something about board games that you just have an opportunity to sit around a table, whether you've got 15 minutes, whether you've got an hour and 15 minutes, but you're going to spend time connecting with the people that are around that table. And my wife and I, we both have two small children, ages 6 and 4. And we've they're starting to get to that age where board games are fun and they enjoy playing them. And it's allowed us as parents even just to teach a little bit about how to play a game, how to make decisions in a game, learn some tactics a little bit. Probably most importantly is how to deal with winning and how to deal with losing. And so we like our kids to be active, in sports and things, but we also have enjoyed sitting down as a family and making it a tradition. So if that's appealing to listeners right now, if that's something that you'd like to learn a little bit more about, that's kind of where our partnership has started and kind of what our company represents and what we do. So that's just a little bit of an brief overview kind of a deal, but there's some other specific things we can get into here.
Yeah, so you said a little bit about why board games were important. Does it go any deeper? Is there any other reason? Like you said, you played a lot when you were younger and more so with your wife, and then now you got the kids. Is there more of a reason why board games are something that you wanted to really get into?
I think that board games have always been that connecting piece that I've found. I think that you can connect with people over sports, over movies, over music. And usually you can have similar tastes in that. But board games also allow an opportunity for people who might not otherwise know each other to sit around a table and get to know somebody without having maybe a conversation that you might not normally have. You can get to know somebody just by playing a game with them. If you're not comfortable, asking them questions about their personality or getting to know them through a more traditional facet of it. But board games have just been like I kind of said, a way for our family to connect. And it's something that my wife and I both have enjoyed teaching our children, and some of the clients that we have, getting the feedback from them and listening to the stories of them setting their own board game night once a month when they get a perfectly picked box coming in the mail, that they get to unbox it together, that they get to check out the new games that they might receive, and to give us a little bit of feedback on what's kind of exciting, what's fun for them, what they did, what they like, what they didn't like, what they'd like to see in an Xbox kind of deal. And so it's been exciting to hear that and to see some photos even of some of our clients, and when they get the smiles on the kids' face when they get that new box and they start to play a new game that they maybe wouldn't otherwise play. Because I think one thing to point out in our company is that these games are not maybe your typical board games that you maybe have had growing up. It's not Monopoly. It's not Sorry. It's not Clue. It's not basically if you look for a Parker's Brothers or a Hasbro game, like it's not those kind of games. These are more unique games. These are games that are built around some strategy and some unique aspects of gaming that you might not get otherwise. So that's kind of the niche that we're in. And if that excites somebody, come check out Perfectly Picked Games. We got a website at perfectlypickedgames.com. You can explore a couple different options of things that are on that website. We have our own store. We have our own subscription models. We have our own gift of games, even where you can give a short-term subscription package. So if you don't want to commit to something a little bit longer, you can give 3 months to somebody, or you can order it for yourself, and you can try it out. And if it's something you like, you can keep continuing with that. But it's also a great way to give a gift that's going to be 3 months long rather than just one box. So they'll actually get 3 or 6, depending on where you want to go.
Colton, do you have any questions you want to ask Jake?
As a fellow game board player, thanks to you, there's a ton of different ways that you can go when it comes to board games, because board games right now in the industry that it's really in, it can be from that 4 to 5, 6 range all the way up to 30s and your 40s. I mean, there's really no limitless. There's so many types of games out there. Why did you choose to focus on maybe more of kid-friendly games, or why did you want to start there?
Yeah, I think really it came down to when my wife and I were kind of having a conversation about this idea. We did kind of wrestle with, well, what kind of games do we want to get into? We've evolved in our own game library where, you might have some more classic card games or some simple board games to some more complex games that can take hours to play. And there are a lot of avid board game players out there in the world, and it's a community on and of its own. And so when we really were figuring out what was going to be the most important to us, and we kept coming back to family is one of the most important things for us. And so we felt that kind of focusing in on family games and games that you could play with your children and teach them skills and spend time with them was most important, because I actually seen a clip on social media where it talked about, the amount of time that you have with your children from birth to 18 years. After they leave and after they get 18, you will only get about 1 more year total time with them, because they leave, they get their own families. You only get together for holidays or once in a while for a couple hours. And so that time that you have with your children is very precious. And so we want to be able to spend that time with them in activities that will continue to have them grow and to continue to reinforce the family unit, if you will. So that's kind of where we landed and why we decided that more family appropriate games, and specifically games you can play, on a Saturday night, on a Friday night, or even just a Tuesday night as a family. You just make that a tradition going forward, that once a month you kind of play those games was most important to us.
Yeah. Perfectly Picked Games, to me, seems like it's not just a family night board game. It's something that you could, you get this gift of games, or you subscribe, you're going to get time with people that you don't spend a lot of time with. You can get your family, you can get your immediate family or family that you're going to be visiting or seeing for a short amount of time. So, yeah.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. And then we're expanding our store. So even looking if a gift of games, you're not sure what kind of games you might be getting. We are expanding our store offering more different types of games. So if that's something that you just want to pick your specific game, then we can do that from the store. But again, it'll kind of still be around that family atmosphere where you can play with children as young as 3 or 4 for some of the games, all the way up to teenagers. So something that you can definitely start that family tradition and definitely have that time to spend with family or just friends. If you want to play some board games with some friends, you can also do that.
Well, Jake, we appreciate you and coming in and doing this affiliate program with us, and it seems that the Emperor wants to do stickers in boxes. So you get your order from Perfectly Picked Games. There is going to be a sticker or some sort of trinket from the Golden Mojo Entertainment network of podcasts. So look out for those and go check out perfectlypickedgames.com. Jake, do you have any other plugs you want to say? Anything else you want to say about?
Think that if there's listeners on here and you're hearing this on one of the Golden Mojo podcasts, if you also will check out any of the other podcasts within the Empire itself, we also at Perfectly Picked Games have linked all of those podcasts on our main page. So as you go to perfectlypickedgames.com and go to that homepage, you'll be able to see the entire Golden Mojo Empire linked with a little bit of bios on the different kinds, including the call guys, as I'm talking to the main members here tonight with you guys. So we're hoping that you can play some board games and you can listen to some podcasts, even if you want to do it at the same time, or that kind of a thing. It definitely is a partnership that I think works very well for both of us. I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with me and having me on here. And if anyone out there is looking for some board games to try or wants to learn more about it, perfectlypickedgames.com.
And use code Golden Mojo at checkout.
That is correct. Get you 20% off using Golden Mojo.
All right, Jake. We appreciate you, and we'll have you back on the call guys here in the near future. So, yeah. All right. Perfectly Picked Games, perfectlypickedgames.com, and also check out all the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. All right, everybody. See you next time. All right, so this week on the call, guys, we are talking part 2 of the genre series, and that's why we have brought Tony here because, as in his question of the pod, most of us, when you talk sci-fi, you think weapons, you think different crazy things, you think space, you think all this stuff. We're talking sci-fi for our second part of this genre series, and for Jake, I do want to talk Dartmouth. And I'm not going to read. I'm not going to.
I really need to know what Dartmouth says about what really classifies a sci-fi movie. I need to know.
I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing because this thing is a mile long. So they say a genre characterized by stories involving conflicts between science and technology, human nature, and social organization in futuristic or fantastical settings created in cinema through distinctive iconographies, images, and sounds, often produced by means of special effects technology. All the technologies of cinematic illusion are displayed at their most cutting-edge state in science fiction films, and this has been true since the earliest years of cinema.
Do they give a movie reference?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's French.
Oh, perfect.
It's called A Trip to the Moon.
Cool.
Le Voyage dans la Luna.
Thanks, Dartmouth.
Yeah, thanks, Dartmouth. That movie used stop motion animation and other effects to create what is, in all probability, cinema's first ever portrayal of space travel in topic, techniques, and iconography. It was a prototype for the science fiction cinema to come. And then it goes on to talk about 2001: A Space Odyssey. Obviously, one of the biggest and one of the really original sci-fi movies, 1968. And that's really what kicked off the era of sci-fi that we love. You know, you get your Star Wars and your Star Treks and your space travel and time travel and all that stuff. So, yeah, definitely Dartmouth really goes deep in their definitions. Jake.
But can you give us the watered down version for the ones who really can understand what's being said?
Yes, let me give you what I think is a much easier to understand definition.
Which, by the way, Jake, I think I need to throw you under the bus here. I was approached by I was talking to a listener, and they did not appreciate you saying that our audience was somewhere around the realm of Ivy Tech graduates or something like that, or maybe who our listeners are more around there. I had someone take real offense to that. And you know what, brother? I hope you don't sleep well tonight because of it.
Mm. Isn't he like in Florida or something?
Yes, he is.
All right. So Jake called this the untrustworthy source. It's the source that we've
That everybody
been
uses.
told. Yes, and everybody uses this source. It's Wikipedia. And Wikipedia says, and this is right off the Google page when you search science fiction definition Wikipedia. Science fiction, sometimes shortened to SF or sci-fi, is a genre of speculative fiction which typically deals with imaginative and futuristic concepts such as advanced science and technology, space exploration, time travel, parallel universes, and extraterrestrial life. E.T. Phone home. Here we come. Top 5 science fiction movies. Tony, did you have a definition that you went off of, or did you kind of create your own? Or
when Colton was reminding me Monday of this wonderful obligation that I got myself into, I was asking him.
You're welcome.
He got you into
after I thanked him. I said that I was really struggling with this list. I won't lie, especially because define sci-fi, and that was a topic of conversation that we had for a little while. And on the phone, I think I said, in my head, sci-fi is anything that isn't technologically available to us at this point in time. So if a movie does something that's not of something that isn't technologically available to us, that is sci-fi. That was my basic bare bones definition of it. And then I looked up Chat GPT just now to ask it the same question because the AI overlords will rule us someday. So I want to see how screwed off we are. It basically said the same thing. Short for science fiction, genre of speculative fiction that explores imaginative concepts often involving futuristic technology, space exploration, time travel, and extraterrestrial life.
So ChatGPT just took the Wikipedia definition.
It's almost like it learned from the internet how to be.
Yeah. Genius. Love AI. So I'm gonna say, even without, I didn't look up the definition. I looked up the Dartmouth definition before and I read it and I was like, wow, that's pretty deep. I didn't look at the Wikipedia definition, but I feel like I stuck to those pretty well. Last week I want to apologize to all the listeners, and Logan did send us a voicemail, which I can plug in right here.
What's up there, call boys? It's your boy, Just Logan, calling in on the hotline because I'm finally getting around to get to listen to some stuff. I've been busy all throughout December, and oh boy, do I have things to say. All I'm going to go with is I agree with Jake. I agree with him. Come on now. We picked The Chronicle, where it's a bunch of teenagers, found footage that get superpowers from an alien rock. Sci-fi movie. We picked Transformers, where they're not just robots, they're robots from space, and I'm a Transformers diehard fan. G1 all day long, baby. But none of those Michael Bay movies need to be on any kind of top list, let alone an action movie list. So, hear me out. And fuck, Super 8. Super 8! Really? Hear me out. This is my list. No specific order. This is just my top 5. We got Kingsman. Got The Losers. We got The Punisher, and I'm talking like, I forget his name. I'm talking the Punisher before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was going, like right after Blade Punisher. I'm talking Mad Max Fury Road. I mean, that movie is the pinnacle of action movie. Practical effects, just people beating the crap out of each other. And Red Dawn. Either of the Red Dawns. Fantastic movie. My honorable mentions, Gladiator, Top Gun, Con Air, stuff like that. Now, see, if I was going sci-fi adventure, I would have definitely, or sci-fi action, I would have thrown in Gamer with Gerard Butler, because that movie was action-packed. But, you know, it's dudes getting controlled by kids playing video games, so sci-fi, action sci-fi. And I would have absolutely put Indiana Jones on there, but that's action adventure. That's not just straight action, dog. I love Indiana Jones. I agree with Colton. That movie is fantastic. but that's action adventure, homie. So that's it. That's all I gotta say. This one almost gave me a stroke, boys, but I'm good. So I'll catch you next time on the flippity flop. Baba booey, baba booey. Fucking Super 8, really. Oh, good lord, shameful.
Yeah,
Oh
Logan.
my.
Thanks for that. And Colton, I'll send that to you later so you can listen to it. But yeah, I definitely screwed the pooch on my list.
Yeah, you
last week.
did.
It was action, and 90% of what I said was sci-fi. So I did not repeat a movie this week for sci-fi. I found even more. But I do
Good
want
for
to
you.
argue. I want to apologize, but I also want to argue that movies aren't just single genre movies. I understand like it can be sci-fi action or it can be action sci-fi. So not my problem.
You had a
Sky's the limit.
you
Sky's the limit.
you had a very you, you were having tendencies that were the same for every dang movie.
I know. Well, this actually could be sci-fi. Never mind.
Oh Lord.
All right, so we are doing 5, 4, 3, 2, honorable mentions 1 in typical Call Guys fashion. We this week will start with Tony.
What would you like? You want the whole list? Do you want me to just go through one? Just the
Oh
my
no.
number five?
Oh,
Yeah,
just number
5,
five.
4, 3.
Oh yeah, this
2.
is Tony's first list.
Oh
This
man,
is
how
my
about
first
I
list.
start? Gunnar, let me
Okay.
start.
Okay, I'll
I'll start. So Tony, you just kind of. Well, then you can. How do we want to do that? Me, Tony, then you, Gunnar, or
Sure, yeah.
there we go.
I forgot it was first. It's always been
First and
Star Wars.
First of
No,
first
out of
and
my
fore-
depths here.
Oh geez.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was looking for a Pirates of the Caribbean quote, but I couldn't think of one. I was thinking of anywho, never mind. Back
I
to
got a jar of
reality.
dirt. Nothing to do
Okay.
with anything.
I have 5 movies
Oh
Mhm.
god.
off the start,
Okay.
and I have honorable mentions. So for those who are wondering, my first 2 movies are not going to be my 2 honorable mentions.
He followed the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah, do the applause. Hit the applause button, Gunner. There it is. Perfect. Perfect. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Just wait till you listen to the episode. There's gonna be applause there.
My number 5 is a 2009 flick directed by the James Cameron. One of the highest grossing movies ever. And Tony, I get the eye roll. I love it. I want the conflict. I'm here for it. It is Avatar. A
Gosh.
fantastic movie via IMAX. Beautifully stunning. Stunning beautifully. However you want to put it. I don't know how to put it,
Stunning
but it was
beautifully.
stunning and beautiful. Put them
Mhm.
together. I don't care what you do, but a fantastic IMAX movie in flick to see. I think the thing that really makes this movie that good is the IMAX experience. It's just one of those movies you had to see in IMAX to fully appreciate it. And Tony, and I know you're a big IMAX guy. You go to a lot of IMAX.
Yep.
And I'm a very picky IMAX goer because I want to go to an IMAX movie that is visually stunning with a great soundtrack. And I just think that James Cameron really knocked it out of the park and really started the stardom that is Zoe. How do you say her last name?
Saldana.
Saldana. Yeah, she really blasted off.
I feel like the thing with Avatar, and it's not even the soundtrack and the IMAX experience with Avatar is the amazing, CGI and all that, but it's also the world building, right? So you're going in to watch this movie and you're hearing the sounds, you're pretty much feeling the movie itself, and then being in
Mhm.
IMAX making it even better. But like Disney doing the Avatar ride, you really get that feeling. That's what's crazy. I do not like Avatar. It's a movie I just have never enjoyed it. I've never liked the movie. I couldn't stand the way of the water. Not my thing.
I haven't seen the new one. I'll be honest because I'm afraid.
I saw that in theater, and I once again, I've never enjoyed the movies, but I understand why people love it. It's okay.
I think the one thing that when I watched it for the first time, like outside of the theater, I didn't realize how long of a movie it was, but it didn't feel like that long of a movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why I enjoy it so much. Because it's every bit, was it 2.5 hours?
Oh, at least.
Yeah, it was a long movie.
Yeah. And you just I don't realize it at all. Thought I just wasted almost 3 hours of my day watching
Yeah.
a movie.
I will say that the Disney ride did give me a little bit of love for it. And that's why I went and saw the second one, and I was like, okay.
Screwed up
I-
there.
I honestly, I remember watching that movie in IMAX. The IMAX theater in Fort Wayne was new, so it still smelled new. Had that new carpet smell still. The seats weren't broken and janky as they are now.
Mhm.
But yeah, we didn't
Experience.
even get like good seats for it. We were up in like the nosebleeds. Had our 3D glasses on, and I do remember that movie was in IMAX one of the best movie experiences I had ever had, and probably still have had to this day. Because Jim Cameron, as much as I can criticize him, but I also love him, he does make highly detailed movies, and that movie was made for IMAX and it was filmed for 3D, and it shows every second it's on screen. Now, I've tried to watch that movie since that experience, just not in IMAX, and it's just Fern Gully, basically redone as a movie, and it's not a good movie. I don't enjoy it. But if I could experience it again in IMAX, which I know they re-released it before the second one came out, and I should have seen it, and I wanted to, but couldn't find the time, I would absolutely go watch it again. But only if I can experience it, not just watch it.
Tony's gonna have to
think
put an
that's fair.
IMAX theater in his house just so he can watch Avatar again. Good number 5, Bolton. It's a good number 5.
And honestly, and that's the reason kind of why I put it at my number 5 is because the IMAX in it is top notch. It is, I don't want to say untouchable, but it's dang near perfection in IMAX.
It was made for IMAX, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that about the time when IMAX was big? So, so being made for IMAX, that's why when you go to watch it at home, it just doesn't feel the same because you're not in that same area, in that same
The atmosphere. You're right. You feel the movie differently.
You literally feel the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony? What's your number 5?
My number 5 is a 1991 movie. It's definitely in the stereotype of sci-fi when people think of sci-fi. I have grown up in a household where my father watched reruns and reruns and reruns of all the Star Treks, so TOS and Next Generation. And so when the original series cast started making movies, of course, that was top viewing in terms of movies in my household. And so number 5, in very nerdy traditional fashion for a sci-fi list, is Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, which is the last movie of the original series cast. It was directed by the great Nicholas Meyer, who they brought back after doing the second one. And he basically made a crime, murder, action sci-fi movie, and it was really good. It was, the practical effects still hold up today. The music's just gorgeous, and the fight scenes are great. And of course, you got Christopher Plummer as the main bad guy, and he spouts out Shakespeare, and it's really great. So I love that movie. I can always watch that on repeat. It's one of my, like I said, top 5 for sure.
Star Trek 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I haven't watched a whole lot of I remember watching a lot of the older show stuff, but I can't remember. I don't watch any of the newer movies either. Just never was really into it, I guess.
I love both Star Trek and Star Wars, but Star Trek is a notch above just because that's what my dad loved, and there's just more of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, weeks of content.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. All right. My number 5. Everybody knows I'm a time travel guy.
No.
So I didn't stick to time travel fully through my list.
What?
But this movie is kind of a sleeper for me. It's one of those that I turn on because I want to watch a time travel movie that's not Bill and Ted, and this movie is fun and different. Released in 2015. It's called Project Almanac. And what it is an MIT grad. His father has passed away, and his father left a diary of in a machine that he created, which is a portal time travel device, pretty much thing that he ends up using and causing a bunch of bad things to happen with the timeline behind him and in front of him. So it's a really interesting movie, and looking at it, the Rotten Tomatoes score is really bad for this movie. And I don't think I mean, I really enjoy it.
You don't think
really
it's
good.
properly rated, is what you're saying?
I don't. Yeah.
How low is it?
Certified, it's a 38%.
Dude, man, you know what that would qualify for.
It would. You should watch this movie. You guys should watch this movie. It's really fun. It's different. They travel to what's the Woodstock, like a Woodstock style concert.
Oh.
And at one point it's really cool. Yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
I mean, budget 12 million, box office was 33. So I mean, it made some money.
Better than some movies that have been made.
True. So yeah, Project Almanac, 2015.
Nice.
All right, Colton, number 4.
It's a TV show. It's Doctor Who. Just gonna get it done and over with. Yep, Tony. Yeah, Tony. I cannot leave out Doctor Who. I just can't. I can't do it.
I guess they technically made TV movies.
I was gonna say I could make a case that their Christmas specials, could be movies.
Yeah.
I could make a case. I could fight that.
Back in the 90s, they absolutely released all those specials on VHS.
Well, I wouldn't
as standalone. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
But I mean, everybody knows. Anybody who's a longtime listener of the Call Guys knows my love for Doctor Who, which is pretty much the reboot that is Doctor Who.
But you love the wrong Doctor.
I don't love the wrong doctor. You love the wrong doctor.
David Tennant
Gunner, just go take a walk. Tony and I are going to talk. Okay. Don't talk to me about loving the wrong doctor here. Okay.
David Tennant had the best storylines.
Well, that's because he had the best writers. He had the best people.
He had the best companion.
Oh no, he did it. You take it back right now.
I do not take that back.
Take it back right now. You know that is a trash take. You know it's trash.
David Tennant with his doctor, then Rose Tyler was the best combination.
No.
Yeah. I will give you Amy Pond.
Matt Smith.
I will give you Amy Pond.
I'll take Clara. I want Clara.
Oh, mate.
Okay. Yeah, Tony. Come on, Tony.
Right. I like Clara. Fine.
I know you do.
But you can't. But Peter Capaldi is not a good doctor.
Hey. She rolled with Smith for a bit.
She did. Yeah. All right.
She rolled with Smith. I do. One of my favorite introductions is her role into the Doctor Who universe when she's really not a person. She's spoilers, sweetie. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going for. Just a grin and a chuckle. That's all I wanted out of you. Gunnar, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
No, I don't.
I think so. But anywho,
not a show I have ever sat down and taken the time to even want to start watching. Whovian. Yep, not a Who from Whoville.
But yeah, everybody knows I just adore Matt Smith. David Tennant is fantastic. And you know what I just finally connected the dots on is that his role started in 2005 as the Doctor. Can you guess another role that he got? David Tennant got in 2005.
Well, some Harry Potter.
Barty Crouch Jr. Yep. Goblet of Fire. And I did not put that
Yeah.
together because I was just like, I was watching Goblet of Fire and I was like, yeah, I know that's Tenet. Like, and then I started like connecting dots on IMDb and I was like, dude had a huge 05 is what
That
he
was a good
had.
year of his life right there.
Mhm.
Because I early Tenet was, man, he was so good. I love that first season of Tenet with Tenet. And oh man, Tyler Rose is the one who killed it for me for Tenet.
See, to give the Doctor a companion that he's more emotionally invested in than any of the others, I thought was great and brought another level and dimension to that character. Because after that, they basically just became companions again, just in the stereotypical just sense.
Yeah, but that's what they were. Who am I to argue with a British man over Doctor Who? Who am I?
Now that's a fair point on that one.
Who am I? Who am I to tell this Brit he's wrong?
Next thing you tell me is you didn't like Christopher Eccleston's incarnation of it.
Oh no, I love he's my third favorite.
Oh, okay, all right.
I honestly thought that was a great Doctor to go with. He was a great start off, like the springboard to get it going again. I thought he was fantastic. I think we've talked about it like one-on-one, you and I, but I think I've also mentioned it on the pod, is that that dude got railroaded by the BBC and just complete and utter bull that he got screwed out of more seasons as the Doctor, because I would have loved to have seen him with Rose for 2 more seasons. And then I think about what would have happened if the companions would have shifted. That's just something I played in my head because I thought that would be interesting with Tennant, and you give Amelia Pond and Rory to Tennant, and then you slide in more Clara and Matt Smith together, and then Capaldi after Clara gets spoiler alert, after Clara gets killed. Capaldi kind of bounces around a little bit.
Technically, all the Doctors get killed too.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Who cares? Right? Yeah, there's no Doctor count anymore. You could just regenerate whenever and blah 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 blah. Yeah, thank you, new age writing. Yeah. Anywho, Doctor Who number 4, obviously hands down. You know why it's my number 4. Tony, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is hopefully not as controversial, but still might be controversial in nature because this is the one on my list where I stretched the term sci-fi.
Interesting.
It's from 1993. It was a movie that came out of a novel directed by the famous Steven Spielberg, and it involves some dinosaurs on an island.
Oh my gosh.
Called Jurassic Park. And when I was doing research on top sci-fi movies, this one always came up on the list. So I figured I was in the realm of this is an acceptable movie, but maybe it's not. But Jurassic Park is a classic. Practical effects mixed with CG, first generation CG, great story, wonderful gore, quotable movie through and through, and some of the best music as well in that movie. I just can't go wrong with Jurassic Park. Started a franchise, which arguably didn't go so well, but the first movie's still solid.
As a kid, I always loved the third one. I don't know why. I think it was the pterodactyl pin. I think it was
no. I can't get on that one, man.
I think so, 100%.
Number 1.
Yeah, the sequels were rough, and then the reboots were even rougher.
I would agree that it falls under sci-fi for sure. Especially if you go in your technology that obviously people have not cloned real life dinosaurs
yet,
or humans in Jurassic World. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
No, yeah, good number 4.
It's funny because that movie I really want to show my kids more than any other movie, but my wife is just like, they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet.
I told Bree, because William, he loves dinosaurs, and I said, hey, if we want to find out if he likes dinosaurs or not, we need to watch Jurassic Park. So I'm telling you, if he's not scared to death of those things after
turn
watching
the light off. Turn the light off.
I can always see like hitting the spoons on the ground in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Such a fun movie.
You didn't
Have you
say the
seen-
magic word.
Yeah, great. That's great. Dotson, we got Dotson here. Nobody cares. Have you guys seen that new video game that is going to come out?
That's very oddly specific of you.
It's a Jurassic Park video game.
It is.
Oh, then
It
no.
takes place after everybody leaves at the very first movie, and you are a scientist, and you have to survive on the island until a ship comes in to the dock.
Interesting.
Very intrigued by it.
Yeah,
I think it's in an alpha state right now.
Didn't you
Is it-
play that one that came out, the Jurassic
Jurassic World Evolution. Yeah, I played that game.
Yeah.
Loved it. I love that game. A lot of fun. It is Roller Coaster Tycoon, but with dinosaurs.
And that's what you've been playing on the Switch is Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Jurassic Park Survival. Interesting.
It actually looks really good. Like I said, I'm very, very intrigued by it. Like if that game, if it comes out pretty good, because I'd like to try to get into survival games a little bit more because they're more one player based and kind of the game I kind of like to play anyway right now. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on that one. So sorry for that sidebar.
Sidebar.
Gunnar, what is your number 4?
My number 4, 2009. Nick Cage. The Knowing.
Oh, nice.
I
Don't tell Jake.
I love this movie.
I think he loves this one.
Why
I'm
is it
sorry.
my 5 and 4 both have something to do with MIT? Is that just something sci-fi movies do? Is they have to have
No, I
somebody
think
that
that's the
goes-
Dartmouth in you, brother.
Yeah, it's the Dartmouth and means the college. Yeah. No, for any of you that haven't seen the movie, it's an end of the world esque movie. Ends with a species of aliens taking the kids from Earth to start a new population on a different planet, and all this weird stuff happens leading up to that. Pretty much an end of the world movie with a little bit of sci-fi. So it could kind of be sci-fi disaster, but definitely still think a little bit of sci-fi. And the whole thing with the cipher and all the dates and everything for all the predictions that Lucille, I think was her name, had that was in the time capsule that they dug up was crazy. And it was just a really fun concept, and Nick Cage and all these puzzle movies. But yeah, The Knowing, 2009. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's fun. All right.
Very nice. I like that pick. It's a good movie. I think
Thanks.
that is a movie Jake and I watched in college a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's just fun. All right, Colt, number 3.
Hope you guys are ready for this one.
Oh gosh, here we go.
1999. Fantastic movie. Okay. About a TV show that goes to space. Any takers? No bites.
About a TV show that goes to space.
And they have to reenact their roles in the TV show, but in
yes.
space,
Yes.
and do it in real life.
Arguably the best Star Trek movie on the planet.
The pinnacle of comedy in 99. I want to thank my Uncle Calvin for taking me to the Dollar Theater to go see this movie, and it has stuck with me ever since, and that is Galaxy Quest.
Well done, sir. Well played.
Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Rest in peace, Alan. Just top notch.
Never give up.
It's-
Never
it's-
surrender.
It's so stupid.
We need your help.
Yes, and it is. It is a, almost a spoof on Star Trek to an extent.
It's not almost. It is a spoof on
I'm
Star
pretty sure
Trek.
it's made to
I
be a
don't want to
parody.
piss off any Trekkies out there,
Yeah,
brother. Okay.
No, Trekkies love that movie.
Okay,
Don't understand.
okay. Hey, I'm not a Trekkie, so
I am. We
I'm
love
a
that
Galaxy
movie.
Quest guy.
It's a great movie.
So
One bloody job on this ship, and by golly, I'm going to do it.
do Galaxy Quest fans like Star Trek as much as Star Trek fans like Galaxy Quest?
I would think it would be Star Trek loves Galaxy Quest more than Galaxy likes Star Trek.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could care less about Star Trek, but Galaxy Quest, I'll sit down and finish that movie wherever it's at.
It's
That's a
like
great
somebody.
movie.
It's like somebody that loves Spaceballs and hates Star Wars, and then somebody that loves Star Wars loving Spaceballs, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Look at that. So that's my number 3. Just a fun movie. Just fun. It's just a fun movie. I can't say anything else. And when I thought of the sci-fi, and honestly, I thought Galaxy Quest has got to be in there somewhere. So that is my number 3. Tony, what is your number 3?
Gosh, that movie was just so quotable. I could just play the quotes game all day on that one. But I'll go to my number 3. So we're not here all night. My next one is a 1985, very cliche action. 1985 classic sci-fi movie. It's Robert Zemeckis as the director, Alan Silvestri as the wonderful composer, and that would be Back to the Future. OG number 1, Back to the Future.
Let me just do my number 3. Right there.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a walk. You two just nerd out on this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony. We can.
I mean, what's not to love about it? You've got the wonderful Marty McFly, and he along with his Michael J. Fox, along with the wonderful scientist, Mr. Doc Brown, and they have an awesome car that is arguably the most iconic. If you can ask anyone in the street what's the most iconic car in the world ever, and the DeLorean from Back to the Future will most of the time come up. It's a beautiful car. And then they go on a wonderful adventure through time and the consequences of messing with things of the past. It's just great. The music's fantastic. Story's so good. Hey, every
Chuck.
part of that movie.
Hey, Chuck, it's your cousin, Marvin Barry.
Marvin.
Listen to this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% wholeheartedly. Back to the Future is one of my top 10 movies of all time, but the first 2 movies are 2 movies that I just adore.
Okay, so now you brought up the controversial topic of 2 versus 3.
Yes.
And more often than not, when I say, "Oh, everyone loves the first one," but then when you start to talk 2 and 3, everyone goes 3 is the best out of those 2, and I am strongly opposed to that. I think the second one is far superior to the third one.
I love the idea of 2 because of the return to 1, like everything that goes back to 1, right? That's just, to me, that is the way to do time travel, is to go back to where you've already been, and just seeing all that play out. And one of those movies that, as you said, with Galaxy Quest, is you can just quote it and quote it and quote it. And I love Back to the Future. I love Robert Zemeckis, and he directed these movies so well. Biff and the manure, and in the second one you have the hoverboards instead of the skateboards, and you get Maya Goldie Wilson.
I like the sound of that.
Someday I'm gonna be mayor.
I just don't think the movie would have had the same impact, though, if the original script, which had the DeLorean as a refrigerator, would have held.
No.
Can you imagine if the car was a fridge?
Nope. Hop in the fridge. No, definitely not. Let me just tell you where we're going. We don't need roads. That's for sure.
And it took me, by the way, decades. And I mean decades. I think it was a good 15, 20 years until from seeing the first movie to the second movie, where I realized that they replaced the actress between the first and the second movie.
Oh, Jennifer.
Jennifer. Yeah.
Yep.
With Elizabeth Shue in the second and third movies. I had no idea.
You really have to look, because it's the same hairstyle. It's just the facial features, obviously, that are different. But yeah, they did a really good job of.
Well, and they reshot that whole sequence of him coming back up, like frame by frame almost. It's just it's incredible. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah. Wonderful number 3s. All right, Colton, number 2. Does it make you cry?
In time.
My number 2 does not
Go
make me
back in
cry.
time.
It is a 1997 flick directed by Barry Sonnenfeld.
Mhm.
I remember watching this movie, and the first thing I did was got in trouble for watching it because it was a PG-13 movie. And my mom was not happy because of the content, because I believe an alien got shot and it exploded big time. This wonderful movie stars Tommy Lee, Will Smith,
MIB.
the MIB. That's right, the original Men in Black, number 1.
So good.
Just another fun movie. I love Will Smith's character. This is prime Will Smith years.
Yep.
Tommy Lee is still, I would say relevant at this time and still good. Playing that old cranky man, but not really an old cranky guy. Just making fun of a lot of stuff that was going on at the time too. So just a fun movie. Just enjoy it from start to finish.
The body snatcher suit that was all like deformed, and he was just
yeah.
water.
Got water, got sugar.
Sugar, that's it. Yeah.
Sugar.
My favorite scene, Men in Black, is the where they're taking the test and he grabs the table.
Oh.
And
He pulls the desk.
It's so good.
I love it when he explains why he shoots the person he shoots
Yeah.
in the
Shoots
shooting
the girl
sequence.
in the head.
Yeah. That's suspicious.
Dude's just up there getting a workout in. I don't know why you gotta go blast him.
Yeah, it's that.
I die when that scene comes up every time. And what's this little girl out here doing with these books out here? She can't read half them words.
And then speaking of weapons, you have Tommy Lee
The
Jones
cricket.
describing his gun in full detail.
Correct.
And then he goes to Will Smith and goes, "Where's your cricket?" And just
Yes.
has this tiny little puny thing.
Yeah. Whoa! Don't point that thing at me.
Don't point that thing at me. Yes, just a fantastic movie. So
It's a great movie.
that is my number 2, Men in Black. Tony, your number 2
Never push the red button.
does
Right. Push the red button.
does it make you cry? Does your number 2 make you cry?
I do love this movie, and it does make me cry.
Oh, interesting.
Now we start to get into the dividing sci-fi into the subgenres as you said, is sometimes sci-fi is part of multiple genres, and this one fits into the horror category a little bit. This is a 1986 movie directed by the amazing James Cameron and one of my favorite composers, James Horner, and they came together to do a sci-fi movie, and it's a sequel, not the original, called Aliens.
With the S.
With the S, the
With
second
the S.
one. Now, Alien was good. It was pure horror. And then Aliens was, well, let's do something different and let's do more action horror sci-fi. So multiple aliens, let's get some Marines in. And it's just so good. I could quote that movie all day long. My brother and I do it all the time. Bill Paxton is the hero of that whole movie. He has just such great lines in that. Game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man. Game over.
And it's just so well written, well paced. You've got the beginning parts of setting, she makes it home, but then they've lost contact with the colony because some idiot decided to send them out to see if they could find the aliens that Ripley was talking about. And then, well, let's dispatch a team of Marines. You have to go with us. I'm not going with you, but well, we need you to. And then she goes. So she's reluctant. And also, anytime anyone tells me that there's not any great women hero movies out there, I go, bull crap. It's Aliens, because Sigourney Weaver is one of the freaking best badass women heroes ever. Sigourney Weaver just plays the crap out of that role. But you even have like all these like plot growths in it. So going back to Hudson, played by Bill Paxton, he's this cowardly kind of person throughout the whole movie, and in the final action scene with him, he flips it on. He flips the switch, and he's just like, "Oh, you want some? Come get some!" Yeah, and he starts killing them, and he's just this total badass. Yeah, and it's just the music when the action kicks in, and it's so tense in moments. It gets your heart going, and then rescuing at the very end, and the ship's taking up as the nuclear explosion's happening, and you think everything's great, and you're like, "Yay, movie's over! Yay!" And you're like, "Oh, that was so good!" And then the Queen alien comes down from the ship, kills Bishop. Well, stabs him to the center anyway. And then there's another action scene, and it's just so good. Mwah, pure perfection.
You got a chef's kiss.
Pure
Beautiful
perfection.
thing. Beautiful thing. Nice.
I can watch that movie any day, anytime, over and over again.
I like it. Colton, have you watched any of the Alien movies? Alien.
There's only two, Alien 1 and Aliens. That's it. There's no others after that.
There is.
Nope. Nope. Just the first two.
That's false. I know better than that. No, I have not. The only thing I've ever watched was the movies that made us when they talk about Alien. The first one and how they made it. And no, that movie is that would be a scary movie, not a sci-fi movie.
It's legit.
A scary movie.
Yeah, that's your blanket over the eyes the whole
Yeah.
time. Colton.
Yeah, that's one that's done. I watched that one at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and
All the lights in the house are on while the sun's out.
Yeah. It's so good. I really wish you could watch Aliens. That's
like those movies just don't. I don't like those movies. I don't like that feeling that I get watching those movies. I don't know what it is. I mean, Doctor Who has a couple episodes that way, that give me that feeling of like, oh my gosh, yeah, nope. And I know what's going to happen, and I still get that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not an Alien fan. And honestly, I'm not that big of a Sigourney Weaver fan.
That's controversial.
I know it is, and I don't care. Because I said I kept
Galaxy Quest. You just mentioned Galaxy Quest.
I know I just mentioned Galaxy Quest. But I think my favorite role of hers though is Ghostbusters, because I felt like that was when she didn't I felt like she didn't have a stick up her butt in that movie. All the other ones I think she does. Like I hated her in Avatar.
Not really in Avatar. Not really. She's like five minutes total. Oh, I'm aware. She's in it for like 5 minutes.
We could have got somebody else for that role. Anywho, Gunnar, your number 2 doesn't make you cry.
I'm sure these movies have made me cry, and I want to put out a disclaimer saying that I love all of these movies and all of these spinoffs and all of this stuff that comes along with this, minus a few here and there. But I'm gonna go with good old episode 4, 1977.
Oh.
Because
Here it is.
Because
it is.
This is
gotta have a sci-fi list with Star Wars in it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's A New Hope, Star Wars A New Hope. I mean, I can't say anything about Star Wars that nobody should not think about Star Wars. I mean, it's beautiful. It revolutionized cinema and film and sci-fi, along with all of the other sci-fi that came out in this era of time. The fact that actors like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher were able to start their careers really from these and just kind of blow up and become icons and be able to come back for sequels and all of that stuff. It's fun to follow it. It's fun to watch. We've talked about it way too much, way too much on this podcast, but I couldn't pass it up on my list, and absolutely love the franchise as a whole. But A New Hope is just one of those that you put on and it just pulls you in because it's the original. It's amazing for what the time was, and yeah, just love it. Honorable mentions. Colton, what's the look?
Oh,
Was Star Wars off limits?
I kept it off. Everybody knows my affections for Star Wars, so I didn't want to. Obviously, it's on the list, so I put in a classic, Independence Day, The Fifth Element,
Oh, that's a good one.
Attack from Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. District 9.
Yeah, of
Yep,
course.
yep.
District 9 all day.
Oh yes,
The original Total Recall is
there
the
you
only
go.
Schwarzenegger movie I will accept for a good movie of his.
It's on my honorable mention list as well.
Very
Me too.
nice.
Me too.
Blade Runner,
Yep.
original.
Classic.
12 Monkeys.
Yep.
Gunnar, have you seen 12 Monkeys?
It's been a while.
Definitely check that one out again. It's fun. Last but not least, Starship Troopers.
There it is. Also on my honorable mentions list.
Nice. Tony?
The only good bug is a dead bug.
Good book. Yeah, that's the best. That's the most quotable line I use.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's actually it's in my top 10. It didn't quite reach my top 5.
Oh, Gunner or Hunter. Oh, Hunter.
Gunner-
Oh my
Gunner
gosh,
Hunter.
Tony. Honorable mentions.
Yes. So I will keep the ones off that we've mentioned already, but I have a special place in my heart for the movie Serenity, which was the Firefly movie after Firefly was canceled. I was one of the people who watched it from the very get-go.
Good old Nathan Fillion.
Yep, good old Nathan Fillion. Lots of great actors in that. The show was ahead of its time. It was really good, witty, funny. And then, of course, it got canceled after like 12 episodes. And then the fans rallied for a revival. We got it in the form of a movie called Serenity. Even though I acknowledge that movie isn't the greatest, it's on my list just because of what it meant from a fan making a show come back in some form. And I was a part of that.
Nice.
So Serenity is one. The Matrix, of course. And just the first one. Let's not go with 2 or 3. Just the first one. Going back to my horror aspect, because I love sci-fi horror, Event Horizon was a cult classic at this, and it is considered a cult classic at this point. Michael Fishburne, Sam Neill from Jurassic Park did a nice horror movie set in space, and it is a true horror movie for you, Colin. You'll never watch it. Another Schwarzenegger movie actually made my list, and that's The Running Man. I acknowledge again, not a great movie per se, but for some reason I love that movie. Yeah, and then the last one on my list, super classic, Peter Weller, RoboCop.
Oh, nice.
RoboCop,
Nice.
good one.
Very nice. Trying to think of on my list what you guys didn't say. So I've got Armageddon.
That's good. Yep.
War of the Worlds. Give or take either one. The original is kind of one of those. It's like it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
The Tom Cruise version, not terrible, but not great. You said Total Recall. I did put Super 8 in my honorable mentions list because after further research, it is a sci-fi.
You already
movie.
made it. You already made it number 1 in another list. You should have just done it this week.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh,
District 9. I have The Matrix. iRobot. Will Smith.
yeah,
and then
iRobot.
I have one that I contemplated even putting on my honorable mentions, but I feel like it is sci-fi, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would allow that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion Passes. It's a sci-fi movie.
Yep. And a really good one.
Yes.
Again, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that chick, she's
in all the big franchises.
Gee, she really is.
Including Star Trek that you haven't seen.
No, I've seen those. Anywho.
Oh, it's Tony Gunner.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think of I feel like she is the female equivalent to an extent of what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Hugo Weaving. Because he's in Lord of the Rings, he's in The Matrix.
Shares a birthday with my daughter.
What?
Shares a birthday with my daughter.
Well, there you go.
A great random fact. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is that.
Okay. All right. Number ones.
It's a 1999 flick. Directed by brothers that I believe are now sisters. Yep. I think we all know what it is there. And I think at one point in time, we all wanted to follow the white rabbit at some point in time. We've all wanted to have the option of taking the red pill or the blue pill. My Christmas ornament this year was Morpheus in his chair offering a red and blue pill. And for those who don't know at this point in time, it is the very first Matrix movie. I remember going to see it in theater.
Mm-hmm.
Just fantastic. And of course, rated R movie. And I was 8 going to see this movie. Thanks, Dad. So just a great movie. Always makes you wonder, are we living in the Matrix today? Great, just awesome. Maybe it's just the kid in me that remembers going to seeing it, and oh man, just a great movie. And I will say this, I know the next two are not good.
Nope.
But I love to watch them.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna hate, and I know I'm gonna hate myself.
What about the fourth one?
They made a fourth one?
Yeah, they
made a fourth one? I didn't know they made a fourth one.
Are you serious?
We saw it on your birthday.
We saw it on my birthday.
I was going to say.
That was part of the movie day.
That's right. Yeah. That was a horrible movie.
Now, was that the movie you came with that you got off work for? Because I thought you got off. I thought you got off for that
I joined
movie.
you guys for the Kingsman, I thought.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I thought you came for the first one too.
I know. I missed one. I know that for sure.
Whopperman
we went to 3.
Whopperman was at the first one.
Well, the Whopperman was at all 3.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
The Whopperman was at all 3.
Because you and him went and checked out a venue after the second movie.
That's right.
Okay, for those who don't know, a little So on my birthday, I like to go to a movie. And
yeah, we know all about that, Colton. You want to tell the story real quick before we get into number ones about going to a movie on your birthday this year?
Okay, let's do. Okay, the bad one is I screwed up the times. Again, I screwed up the movie time.
Well, it actually wasn't as much your fault this time as it was last time. But
no. The last time that was BS, and I have proof that exonerates me from that. Anywho, so for my birthday one year, I wanted to go to movies all day. The whole day. And I was able, and I think if I didn't have to get the kids and, if I was, kid free, time restricted free, we could make 4 movies work in a day.
Oh, yeah.
But we went and saw The Matrix, whatever that new one is. And then we went and saw Ghostbusters. And then we went and saw the Kingsman movie all in one day. So that was a fun day.
It was.
And the fourth one, we ain't counting that. You're not counting that.
Which Ghostbusters? Was it the newer one?
Yeah, the new one.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Which was actually an okay movie compared to.
Oh, I love that movie.
We saw that. The Kingsman was awesome, but
Kingsman was really good.
Yeah, that Matrix movie was the worst movie by far.
Oh yeah,
by far.
But the first Matrix movie, introduced a lot of great techniques in cinema, including bullet time. That blew up after that movie.
Oh yeah,
in video games, movies, everything. Yeah, good impression for those audio listeners.
Wow, yes, thank you for doing that for the podcast, Gunnar. I really appreciate that.
Good thing we're also on YouTube. Check us out. Just search for the Call Guys podcast.
You're looking like Neo there, trying to dodge Agent Smith's bullets.
My chair does the lean thing, so I almost fell over. You imagine that on the podcast? I'm doing the Matrix and I just take a dive. All right, Tony.
Mine is a very safe movie for me. If I have to define my childhood and probably name the number one movie I've watched the most, it's going back to the nerdy culture of Star Trek. I'm so sorry for anyone who wanted something different. But Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan from 1982, it defined my childhood. It was a movie that was directed by Nicholas Meyer and the soundtrack's done by James Horner. Nicholas Meyer was brought in after the first movie, Star Trek movie, the motion picture, did not do well at all. It suffered at the box office. Paramount was ready to just not do anything Star Trek anymore in terms of movies. but somehow they convinced them to do one more. But they said on the terms that Nicholas Meyer gets to come in and basically do his own thing. And Nicholas Meyer was basically a war director, like a submarine warfare director, and that's how he approached this movie. So just basically just action scene after action scene. It's two very smart people trying to outsmart each other in spaceship battles. The bad guy and the good guy never actually ever meet in person. They just talk over a video screen, and it's just well paced, written. Soundtrack's amazing, and yeah, I could just watch the first encounter of them two coming into each other's space over and over again, and Khan outwitting Kirk for the first 15 minutes. It's just so good. Yeah, love that movie.
Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. That is one of those that I've heard the name of so many times in my life.
Correct. And
I've
I have never seen it.
Guys are missing out, I'm telling you.
Add it to the list along with 6. I'll do that.
Don't ever watch the first one. Just skip that one. Just go straight to the
Skip
second.
one.
Yep.
Skip one, and you just gave the reason that it almost got deleted from life.
It also has the Enterprise they did like an 8-foot model of it. It's gigantic, and they filmed it in slow motion, and it's highly detailed. And the Constitution refit, which is the class of ship that the Enterprise is in that movie, is just absolutely beautiful. She shines. She gets shot up a lot, which is very upsetting. But it holds up because, again, it's a movie in the 80s with all practical effects.
Yeah.
And so it beats out most CG sci-fi mess of movies from today. I'll go back to that movie any day. It's so good.
Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Are you guys ready?
Get this over with.
You already know what it is.
I don't.
Yes, it's Bill and Ted. It
Yeah.
can't be anything else other than Bill and
1989,
Flippin'
starring
Ted.
Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, George Carlin.
George Carlin.
Give me them all. I love Bill and Ted. You all know I love Bill and Ted. And I was just showing Tony and Colton beforehand my Christmas tree topper, which sits up here on the shelf when Christmas is not in session. Yes.
Christmas is not in session.
It's a Doctor Who ripoff, but I'll give it to you.
yeah. You know, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The phone booth. Not a TARDIS.
Not a TARDIS.
But no, I love Bill and Ted. Just the aspects of music and the aspects of, being in a band together and two buddies going, and then they're time traveling back for a history project and collecting all these historical figures to bring back and do their report on, but then they end up actually using the figures as their report. And it's just excellent.
Just dust.
You're just dust in the wind, dude.
Dust in the wind.
Dust, wind. Also quotable, 100%. Every word Colton knows. He's been there when I've quoted the entire movie fully.
Oh
through.
my gosh, it's a sight. It's a sight. I actually think I ended up watching you more than the movie.
I was also. It was. I think that was the night before our
your
wedding.
wedding. Yep, it was.
I was a little intoxicated, but
No, you weren't. You didn't even
Still.
finish your 40s.
it could still quote the whole movie intoxicated. That's right.
This is true.
Bill and Ted.
I did witness that.
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Rufus. Rufus.
Every time I pass a Circle K. Too good. Too good. Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted. Watch Bogus Journey too. You don't have to go watch the third one. it's
Listen to the Call Guys podcast at gmail.com. What are some of your favorite sci-fi movies? Do they line up with ours? Are they completely different? Love to hear from you and let us know what you think is the all-time best sci-fi movie. Is it around Tony's realm of a Star Trek-esque movie? Is it more of a Gunner movie that it just, whatever it is, as long as it's got some science in there, it's good.
There was plenty of science in all of my movies, and
really, do we want to? I mean,
time travel is Yeah.
Time
The-
travel.
Okay. What was I? I can't remember what I was gonna say now. I'm talking trash. Um. Yeah. Make
No.
me lose my train of thought.
No, that's good. No, let us know at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com what's your guys' favorite. So
And also
Yes.
tell Colton that he's wrong on his doctor choices.
Yes.
Lord, I'm
Sorry about
telling
that.
you, we need to have a real sit down, a real Whovian episode on this podcast, and we need to air out some grievances.
You
I
always say
am not
you need to do these episodes, a sports episode, now a Doctor Who episode, a Bridgerton episode.
a Cornetto episode.
Where are they at, Colton? Year 3 of the Call Guys is gonna have to be Colton's year.
Oh my. I don't know. I don't know if the listeners are ready for that kind of controversy because there's not gonna be a lot of hugging. Not a hug. No.
We don't need hugging.
No. Because I think I could beat Tony.
Now when it comes to who.
I do. I love asking you like Doctor Who questions because Tony you just grew up there with it. And
Yeah.
I just love asking those questions because I think I remember one time I asked him was like, hey, what was it like over there when like this went down or when that went down? And it's pretty interesting.
Because you're a new Who fan, right? You'd never watched any of the classics.
No, I'm afraid to watch the classics.
It's super campy.
Yeah, Tom. You say Tom.
Tom Baker is
the best all time.
Pertwee is next in line in that one. Yep.
And I'm worried that if I watch the Baker doctors, that I'm just gonna think, man, Tony's an idiot to think that that these are good.
You have to understand. I think that because I watched them when I was a kid.
Correct.
I haven't watched them since, so I've still got kid glasses on when it comes to the memory of those doctors.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. Is you're gonna be like, it's just like watching Spaced. Did you finish Spaced? Kinda.
But I just surprised you didn't finish Space because of as much of a Simon Pegg fan as you are, you wouldn't have just kind of like pushed your way through the second series of that.
Man, I pushed as far as I could go. I love that I think I've watched that first season 3 times to try to like get through the second season too, just to like knock them all out and go. And I love that first season. The first season is fantastic.
Well, the first series of Space is where basically Shaun of the Cornetto trilogy gets its like, all of its pacing, all of its cutaways, and and the whole style is just derived from that show.
Well, it's Edgar Wright. So,
yeah.
Gunnar, if you really want to have a couple hours wasted, definitely check out Spaced because it's very young. Yeah, the first season. Yeah, the first series is the best. If you can get through the second one, you're a better man than me. But I think
Add to the list.
Is it Edgar Wright's first project? Without looking it up, I know I could look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. I don't know.
Yeah. But that's where Gunnar, have you seen Shaun of the Dead yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene where Sean's group is walking in back alleys, and there's that other group with Sean's old flame. Well, a lot of the people from Sean's group from her group is from Space. Like that main girl, she is from Spaced. And gotcha. So they were able to do that, which was a really awesome, call back to that.
No, this is definitely not his first. He's done quite a few things before then.
I mean, didn't he? It's not his first directorial thing, or is it just his first one with Simon Pegg?
Potentially that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, we can go on and on. You're probably right. We probably should do a couple.
I'm just saying, you just gotta do it.
We probably could.
You just gotta schedule and do it. Give me a couple nights off.
Ooh. We can see how that goes. That's actually not, let's put a little pin in that and let's talk about that on a serious note.
We'll have some meetings. We'll have some meetings.
Speaking of those, I think are we going to have a sit down with the Emperor sometime?
Yes, here in a couple of weeks.
Okay. What are we doing next week? What's our next genre?
Our next genre
is not picked
yet.
is not picked yet. I didn't think it was because I think we're
No.
still waiting on the guest.
Our
Please give me
guest-
horror. Give me horror. Give me horror. I want to see Colton have to sit through
We're
a couple
not-
horror
we're not-
movies.
We're not doing that, Tony.
It
would be-
It's
It would be
arguably one of the
Monsters,
biggest
Inc.
genres.
It'll be
And you're gonna
Monsters,
skip it
Inc.
because you
This
can't
is-
sit
Nightmare
through
Before
a movie?
Christmas.
literally
Fright Night.
his movie monsters. His movie monsters were animated and Hubie Halloween and yeah.
Animated.
No, so next week, Lil G Sumo Man will be back to get his podcast chops back before he's on episode 100.
Oh yeah.
So be excited for that. He's coming back. No, he's not going to be arguing that DC is better than Marvel, and he's not going to be talking about cars. He's going to be talking a genre in his top 5 movies. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what genre we end up going with for that, and moving on to part 3, and then part 4. The Emperor will be here, and then we will have one more part, and we're looking for a guest. So if you want to be on the call, guys, shoot us an email. The Call Guys
What's that
Podcast.
email? What's that email?
The Call Guys Podcast at gmail.com.
Tony, brother, appreciate you coming on. I know that when we were doing this and Sci-Fi was coming up, I was like, we can get Tony on for something other than Star Wars, because I knew that you are very knowledgeable in this subject. And I know we've had many sci-fi discussions outside of this time. So I knew you'd be really good. And as always, man, you killed it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me. I really am glad that we clarified movies only, because if you would open it up to sci-fi TV show, oh man, that would have been a nightmare. I have seen so much sci-fi TV in my time here on this planet. That'd be very hard.
My time here on this planet.
You know, the unfortunate part is if you love sci-fi, right? If you're just a huge sci-fi fan, you love the big sci-fi blockbusters, you cannot go turn on the Sci-Fi channel because it is just B movie after B movie after B movie. Oh, sorry, Tony. But if you like the B movie sci-fi stuff, then it's the way to go.
You know, I can feel the presence of Snake and Lil J and Logan right now. They're probably pissed that I didn't say They Live for this movie genre.
Yep.
So, of course, honorable mention, They Live. You're welcome, guys. Get off my back.
Yep, aliens. All right.
Definitely a sci-fi movie.
Yeah. Tony, like as Colton said, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right. I'm going to get us out of here.
Do it, brother.
Everybody, thanks for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. And you should watch this episode on YouTube. It was a fun one to watch on there. So just search for the Call Guys podcast. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. You can also rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're getting ratings here and there, and we'd love to get some more. So be honest, and if you want to give us a 5-star, that would be great. You can find us on all your favorite social media accounts, whether it be Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at thecallguys, and TikTok at thecallguyspodcast. And you can also go to our goldenmojoentertainment.com website, goldenmojoent.com, where you can find information about all the podcasts and a merch store and information about our new affiliate, Perfectly Picked Games. So yeah, check everything out. Please send us an email if you want to talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. The Call Guys Podcast at gmail.com. And that's all I got.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh.
Tony?
Back in time.
Back in time.
Love you, brothers.
Love you, brothers.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
For everybody out there in podcast land. See you next time.
Later.
Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
The call guy.